detailed into our budgeting program. The cover sheet is just a summary of all the items, and behind it are detailed pages that show the items that are being funded by the grant. And that was one of the requirements. I was just scanning through the letter that we make adjustments to our books of original entry to track the grant for later reporting. So we entered that today. I have plenty of copies for folks, so I'll put those copies here. Please, staff, grab a copy for yourself. The other handout I have for you was a request to look at the state employees' retirement projections going down 5 or 6 years into the future using the projected contribution rates that the state has. Now, of course, they're always subject to change. There's a cover calculation for the retirement, and again, I think I have plenty of copies for the guests here. One thing I forgot to add to the spreadsheet was a line that shows the net change in additional retirement needed. But for example, we have booked in our current budget $448,923 is our net contribution that we'll need to make based on the projected rate that we have for next year. And for each succeeding year, if you're interested, I can update this spreadsheet, or you could pencil in some numbers now. For 12-13, the net increase in retirement contribution would be $196,374. So that would entail an extra 1.15 mils added to the budget. So we already have money in the budget now. That's the added increase. So that would get you from the $448,923, where it says PSERS dollars needed, to the $645,297 for 2012-2013. The net increase then for 13-14 would be $255,884. So you could write that right under your 13-14 column. That would be an additional then projected 1.49 mils. For the 14-15 column, underneath there, the net increase then in retirement needed would be $265,311, or an additional 1.53 mils. For the 15-16 column, the additional expenditures needed would be $162,649, almost 1 mil, 0.93 mils. And it sort of flattens off there at the end, an extra $74,715 for 16-17, that's about 4/10 of the meal. And then in that last year, it's an additional $73,080, 4/10 of the meal. But the contribution rate is a factor that they're always adjusting. Depends on the state budget situation, but using the attachments that we have on the back of the cover page, I have a column that's arrowed, and that shows the employer contribution rates. And again, you can project this out until the year 2044 if you feel so inclined.
Jim, I think this is the 11-12 number again.
Okay, what I don't have, because I didn't write it in, is the net increase from 10-11 to 11-12.
All right, I thought I was.
No, you did. But the net increase going from 11-12 to 12-13 is that 196,374. 2016, 2017, the net increase was $74,715. About 4/10 of a meal. And I think last year, 73. So, again, the pension situation is going to be there. Something that all school entities will have to continue to watch and address as they move forward. That was a very good question, and I'm very glad to put that together for you. Now
So, wait, I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead.
Okay, going from 11-12 to 12-13 then, if the exceptions are eliminated, and we would expect that we would be under 1 mil from this year's Act 1 index, then in 12-13, even if we get a mil on the index, that's not enough to cover Peasers by itself.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. And that's an excellent point, because one of the bills being debated in Harrisburg, again, here we are, we're passing a budget, and this is the 9th straight June where we're passing a budget, as well as all school entities in Commonwealth. And again, the state legislature does not have a budget yet. So, our revenue numbers are still based on what Governor Corbett had laid out. What the House had passed several weeks ago truly is not law. Again, that had to be bounced to the Senate, and I know they're debating that. Whatever the state ends up passing, hopefully they get a budget done by the end of the month. They'll instruct us subsequent to their budget adoption what we're to do with the change in the dollars. They'll more than likely authorize all school entities to reopen their budget. They'll give us some time period to do it. So we may be reopening it in July or August, depending on when they pass their budget and the time constraint that they give us. But you're right, one of the bills they're debating is eliminating all the Act 1 referendum exceptions. And of course, retirement is one of those exceptions.
What's interesting, if you look for the next 6 years, you look at a 5.6 mil increase to meet that, which is an average of 0.93 mils per year as an average. We're also looking at $1,228,000 for an increase over the next 6 years. That's phenomenal. That's just assuming keep the same number of employees and a 2% increase, which is a reasonable assumption.
Jim, we had a significant health insurance increase this year. Is that going to go into next year as well? I know that was a 2000 to 2007 window. But that would still continue next year then, is that correct? Because that was
Our
a significant
trustees passed an increase. It was in the 7% range. Still, that's significant, but health insurance is again going to be one of those variables that we're going to have to keep an eye on, much like retirement. And currently, with the Act 1 referendum exceptions, we don't qualify for the health care part because our contracts are new. The exception was based on contracts that were in existence at the point they passed the Act 1 law. We approved new contracts subsequent to Act 1 passing. So, again, any cost category that increases, salary, benefits, tuition rates, whatever, 99.9% certainty that those cost increases are going to be greater than whatever that Act 1 index will be in the near future. Because next year they're projecting it to be less than 1 mil for us. It will be probably 1% or less. Right now it's 1.4%, which equates to 0.96 mils.